Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Big Time Hoops, the podcast. Back from hiatus. It's been a minute. It's been like 2 months. I forgot how to use Zoom, but we're back. We got Ben Teer here. I don't know how many appearances this is, but this is a big one because we got a big event coming up. It gets bigger and bigger every year. The top 30 camp's going down next month. We got the man who's throwing it together here to talk about it. Ben, first of all, busy. For anyone who follows you on social media, how you feeling right now?
Feeling great. It's good to get back to some normalcy, and just get in the gym without mask, and get better.
Yeah. So you've been all over the place. You've been working with kids all summer long, but the top 30 camp, I feel is like the crown jewel, right? When it comes to Maine hoops in the summertime here. So for those that aren't familiar with it, this is what, year 5, 4, 5, 6 now, maybe?
This would be year three.
I'm way off. Year 3. But for those that aren't familiar with it, why don't you break down the top 30 camp, the idea behind it? Well, what got you thinking about it, and how it's kind of coming together, and what can we can expect for this year here?
Yeah, the top 30 camp is basically just the top 30 underclassmen and upperclassmen in Maine. So, throughout the years, we've been trying to, because it's still fairly new. We've been trying to play around with different ideas, and I think this year we finally have kind of stumbled on what really works. What we try to do is we try to get a great underclassmen group so that we can provide this culture, build this culture of coming together, and then obviously collectively get the top 30 upperclassmen where we can give kids a chance for exposure, bring everyone together. And we just try to create an overall dope experience. I think the biggest mission is having something for Maine kids where everyone can come together, everyone can compete, we can build, we can grow, we can connect, and we can just continue to push a high standard of basketball forward in Maine. And it's been awesome. There's been a lot of support from parents and people outside of the athletes. This year we're getting a ton of local trainers from the state. We're trying to keep it local. The last few years we've had guests from outside of Maine. This year we're really trying to just make it, Mainers, so we can just build and grow together. So that's kind of the whole mission, is just keep a high standard of basketball in Maine, and then kind of give kids a blueprint from a skill standpoint, a training standpoint, and an exposure standpoint on how they can continue to be the best that they can be.
How has this thing grown from year 1 to year 3?
I think it's solidified. The first few years, it's kind of kids gave it a chance. How's it going to be? So I think that's the biggest thing. We've really solidified as I feel personally the best camp in Maine, and then grow. The biggest thing that I've been trying to do is the exposure. I think anyone that's from Maine, how hard it is to get exposure in Maine. This year we have 45 colleges that's committed. I've only been able to post about the ones from in Maine. We've had 45 colleges committed to being there. So we're trying to pack it out. We're trying to really provide an opportunity for kids to get exposure. And unfortunately, we fall out of the live event period, so we won't have Division I. But we even have Division II college coaches from the NE10 coming. I'm still trying to right now every single night work on getting what I'm doing is I'm going through an entire email list of college coaches and just sending emails to everyone using my connections that I've been able to have and grow over the last few years. So I think that if we're trying to pinpoint something, the exposure side has been the biggest thing I'm proud of that we've grown.
And media, right? You got some media there this year that you didn't have last year. So if you could elaborate on that. I've seen the announcements, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. So we've been able to get a guy from who apparently he has ties to ball his life. So he's going to be able to be in the building. We got overtime women's basketball coming in. So it'll give kids a chance to get, national recognition. But we can't we got some great guys, ex-righty, trophy mode. They're going to be there. We got Splash, my guy from Connecticut. He goes to Hudson University. He does some great work, has a great following. He's going to be there doing some recording. And then we got, Bash from New England Prep Girls Hoops. He's going to come into the girls event and do rankings. And then obviously we couldn't get I wanted a New England recruiting report there, but it all works well. I'm going to be demonstrating my Ben Teer recruiting. So I'll be handling the boys side for recruiting and ranking. So like the biggest thing is making it more competitive where, from this event, kids are going to get ranked. They'll have over 1 million like collective followers being able to potentially see what they're going to do because they'll be tagged. We'll have highlight videos of the top players. And then the most important thing is though you don't know who knows who. So like once you get tagged or once someone shouts you out, you don't know who's going to see that. So like, you could catch and blow up like wildfire, like, what happened to, you can bring up any random player over the last few years. So that's an exciting part as well that, from the connections I've been able to make the last 2 years and the hard work everyone has put in to make this top 30 camp successful, we've been able to really establish a name and solidify the players that we've had come to this camp. So a lot of people are excited to see what we have in Maine.
Yeah, no doubt. When it comes to exposure, so how do you balance it being like skill development, like you come to this camp will make you a little bit better versus just give them a chance to run and have eyeballs on them? Like how do you balance that?
Yeah. The last few years, any kid that has been to the camp, they know like it's a grueling camp. It's a hard camp. And we make it that way. Like we you're there for 2 days, your body's going to recover. I think what we have been able to do better is balance out, like in the 2 days, we're going to go, instead of doing, 3, 4, 5 hours of skills training and then 2 hours of games at the end where your bodies are spent and you're dead. We're really trying to this year make it like 1 day skills, a little bit of games, and then the next day, like nothing but games and all-star stuff and one-on-one, you know what I mean? So it's like kids have a chance where they are 100% in these games. Cause even though like, we're trying to make you a better player, at the end of the day, like the knowledge that you get is the most important thing from the skills training piece. There's nothing we can do in an hour or two's time that can just change you as a player. So it's like, we're trying to really give kids a chance to get knowledge, get that blueprint, gain the experience with these different people and different trainers. And then have the majority of that base be games and fun activities that they can do to compete and then gain exposure.
So we bring it back, King of the Court and Queen of the Court. Is that going down again this year?
That is, yeah, for sure. For sure. I loved it. I thought it was a great addition last year.
So Sarah's going to be back to defend her crown. Wyatt's not going to be there this year. So we have a new boys, King of the Court. Which leads me to my next question. Who do we got committed here? Because I know the invites went out. I've seen some of the names coming through. I've seen some big names coming through. Who can you tell us so far who we have committed?
Yeah. So on the girls' side, just to name a couple players off the top of my head, we have Sarah, like you mentioned. We have Lizzie Gruber. We have Sloan Ginnivan. We have Sierra Carson, Jessica Dow. So like a lot of the top talent in the entire state. From like not just in the state, but a New England standpoint. And then on the boys' side, we have Dom Campbell coming in. So that'll be great. I opened it up to prep players. So, because we just had so many on the boys' side, like boys reclassify. So I thought it made sense to, if you're from Maine, like you should still be able to get into the camp. So we have Dom Campbell, Will Lobor, Cash McClure, Casey Cormier, Jake Farnham, Braden Cole. We got a lot of the newer young players coming up. Or we got John Shea, we got Calvin Catchings, we got that, almost entire like Black Bear North squad coming in, and a lot of other boys. So like the boys side is going to be one of the most competitive camps I've ever seen, and I'm really super excited for that.
Yeah. So you mentioned it's upperclassmen and underclassmen. So who are some of the youngins? Who's some of the youngins that you're bringing in that might not be household names yet, but could use this as a launch pad to kind of make a name for themselves?
Yeah. For the girls, you got Izzy Allen. She has, I believe she has like scholarship potential. Izzy will be there on the girls' side. You got a lot of young like XL, Firecracker, NBC players. Like, I know there's a couple girls from Thunder, like Addison, she'll be there. Hayden Medore, she'll be there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head because I don't have anything in front of me. On the boys' side, we got Jalen Jackson, JP Estrella. We got, Dawson Townsend. And I'm sure if I had something in front of me, I could think of the other players. So yeah, those are just the names right off the top of my head for like girls and boys underclassmen. And I'm sure there's more. There's people I'm forgetting. But it's been crazy trying to with getting the college coaches, with making sure we're getting everyone committed. It's been a lot to keep up with everything, but it'll be a lot of talent there. That's for sure.
You're just rattling off names, and that's my bad for putting you on the spot. I didn't mean for you to leave anybody out like that. If anybody feels left out.
No, you're good. You're good.
But but one thing that I noticed is the names that are committed for this year. Like, it seems like this has reached the point where it's like, this is a camp. If you're somebody you want to go there, and compete, but also the exposure opportunities, like you mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Anything else new that's going to be fun and exciting this year, or anything else that we can expect? That's been a little bit. I know one thing because I stopped by last year. One, there's going to be no masks this year, right? And I think you're going to be letting parents and stuff back in the building this year.
Yeah, parents will be allowed. I mean, as long as we're holding it at the XO Sports Center, so as long as they have no added requirements or things like that, mandates like that, everything will be normal and go. We'll try to pack it out, But other than that, we're trying, we're bringing back the All-Star game. That'll be there. I'm toying with the idea of a 3-point contest and a dunk contest still. It's tough, They're not
going to have no legs, man. They're not going to have no legs for
And,
it.
how do you narrow down in a top 30 contest? How do you narrow down, 60 kids to 5 or 10, or do it in that time frame where we won't be taking a long time? That's been the toughest thing. But, it'll be cool to see everyone, have a dope event. We're trying to do stuff afterward. We're going to have we're going to go out to eat. We're going to try to go to maybe, the what is it called? The Old Orchard, Beach Fair or whatever the thing is down there. We're just going to try to all have it a great, experience time, and just everyone from Maine get together and have fun, man. Have fun, compete, and then, you'll put yourself on the map.
One thing I used to look forward to being a camper myself in one of these camps was seeing who we had for counselors, right? And always be college kids that came through and were counselors and coaches at the camp. So you have any of your friends coming through to kind of help out? Any names that we would know that are going to be helping out as a camp counselor or anything like that?
Yeah, so we have what we try to do is, outside of like I said, the Maine, some of the best Maine trainers Maine has to offer. We have them coming in. They'll run stations. They'll be taking kids through just different things. The biggest thing I want to do is I want to create a culture. So obviously from the get-go, anyone that's been a part of the Maine Top 30 camp, once you graduate and move on to college, you're always more than welcome to come back and help. And I'll be sending off, I haven't sent off messages to anyone that's gone to college and graduated yet, but I will. But just off the top of my head, we got a great group from UMaine coming in. We got Steph Ingo and his name is very long, so I'm just gonna call him Fofo. We got him coming in, so we got 2 great UMaine guys coming in for the boys side. We got one of my guys from Husson, he's coming in. And then on the girls side, we got Lexi Middlestad, Brooke Obar, I think Camille might be coming through. She said that she will be, but just with Northeastern, I'm not for sure yet. So we got a lot of people, those are just a couple names. We got a lot of college players coming back to incorporate and build that culture and just let these high school kids kind of see and know what it takes to be successful, maybe ask questions, be around these guys, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm going to throw one idea to you for maybe next year. You can run with this. So since you're bringing back some of these former players that are college now, keeping it all about the culture, you should have next up versus last up. So you have get your the best of the high school kids go head to head against the best of these college guys and just go at it as part of the wrinkle right there.
I love it. That's a great idea.
Yeah. let these kids battle it out here. You've been busy all
Yeah.
summer long, so I mean, you were on the scene like nobody else. And I always like to plug names. If we can name drop and just give some love to some of these kids that have been putting in the work and getting better. Who have you been around this summer that you've seen progress, or you're really excited to see heading into the high school season, which it's coming up, man? Like we're hitting August pretty soon. Like high school season's coming. So, any names that we can show some love to?
Yeah, for sure. I think on the girls' side, the two that I've been most consistent with is Izzy Allen and Anna Oliver. Izzy is an incredible player. I think what she's done is she's really honed in on, like, the biggest thing I try to do with girls is I try to help them move better, especially in Maine. I think if you can learn to use your feet, if you can learn to add shift, if you can learn to, really get to your spots, I think you can be successful. And then just shooting, like the girl can just flat out shoot the crap out of the ball. She went into the UMaine Elite Skills Camp and absolutely dominated. Like I don't think people like you've shouted her out, you've posted about her, but like I don't think people understand how much better this girl's gotten and how good she is. So like she's someone, number one, that I've just seen every week in the summer, and then Anna Oliver is another one. Like I had her at this college showcase where Bash came down, and he got to see her, and he was just like dude, like she could be the best player in New England for her class, and it's very true, and that's not a knock to anyone. It's just the things that she has that can't be taught is incredible. She's 5'10". She can like Anna DeWolf. She can jump off the ground, hang in the air, shoot, fade. Like the things she does as an eighth grader or an incoming freshman now, it's not very normal, and she does them very effortlessly. And then when I get down to Aroostook County and I start to work with her, and we get in the gym and we talk, she's like, yeah, this is my fourth session today. Like I've been out, like like she's one of those like just absolute hoopers that like is outside all day. She comes into sessions, she's drenched. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I've been across the street at the courts. I've been there for 2 hours. And like she is a gym rat. And anyone that sees a player like that, you automatically with her athleticism, with her height, and with her work ethic, like she's going to be special. It's just how special she's going to be, I don't know. It's when I bring her up, like it's no knock to anyone. It's just she has it, like she does. And if she's going to keep progressing, it's not she's going to be good, it's how good she's going to be. So those two are probably right off the head for girls.
She gonna be there?
She is. She's going to be at camp. Yeah, she's going to be at camp. She's phenomenal, man. So there you go. There's another one that I forgot that hopefully doesn't take the heart. But yeah, no, she's phenomenal. So those are two girls.
I remember you posted something about her like last year, like I forget when, like it was a while back though, and I must like, who's that? Like you could just tell by the way she was moving and going through drills that she was special. So, and she's a county girl, so she automatically gets bonus points from me. So I'm anxious to check her out. Like that's one name that I've been dying to see. So I'm glad she's gonna be at camp. How about on the boys' side?
Yeah, boys' side. Well, Cash, I mean, he's probably one of the most consistent ones. Anyone that sees Cash, like the thing that's so cool with him is he's always been phenomenal. It's just getting the exposure, and now he's putting himself in the right positions to be seen, and his stock is rising every week on the AAU scene. So, I'm just so proud and excited for him. Casey Cormier is another one. I'm just excited for him throughout the next year in prep school to be able to really grow and just kind of become more of the player he wants to be. Like a lot of reclassified players, Braden Cole, Jacob Farnham, Braden Cole has been working his butt off. He's been, we haven't been able to do it the last few weeks. I've been in so many different states, but he tries to go 3 times a week. So, him and Simon Allen, I know you got to catch him at the Fort Kent Classic, I think it was. Like, he's just completely really like worked on his game, tried to the thing he's trying to do is really get better at making decisions, just be lethal with kind of a little bit less, really hone into what he's good at. So those are just some boys right off the top of the head that's just like really locked in every week.
And Trophy Mode posted a video today of Calvin Catches, right? He gonna be there too?
Calvin's gonna be there. Yep, been able to go. Sometimes Calvin does usually once or 2 times a week. I apologize, man. It's like I work with, and I'm not trying to say it like this, I work with so many kids every week I forget, man. Like it's just I tell you the ones that maybe I've seen like yesterday, like the ones that are fresh in my mind. Yeah, Calvin has been grinding. He goes usually if he can two times to three times every week. He'll try to come to an academy class, and then we'll do like several private small group sessions here or there.
And you're busy tonight. You're in the parking lot waiting for your session to get going in about an hour here. So, what else we got going on between now and the end of the summer? We got the top 30 camp. Obviously, you got your academies. Anything else people could be on the lookout for you?
Yeah, I'm trying to travel back down to Texas. I try to go there once every couple of months now. Get with my guy Tyler Ralph, and we get around some good players, man. I was there last week with my son, and he got to meet like Julius Randle, Willie Cauley-Stein, R.J. Hampton, a lot of like good college players. I get to like get in and work out with them. So, just get to be around like great people. Like I don't think people understand how just good and genuine some of these guys are. And then great, a great trainer like Tyler is someone that's been a big brother to me and has really helped me understand how to just brand myself better and change like cultures and get better at your craft. Like he's just a phenomenal person to be around. So that's something big. And probably trying to do like more camps, but right now trying to find a groove and just really help the kids get ready for that college level, or get ready for the season. That's kind of what I'd really try to throw myself into.
I'm gonna ask you one question about Texas last week. So whenever you're out there and you're working out with guys like Julius Randle, RJ Hampton, these guys, stuff like that, you get beat up. I mean, they got to be going at you, right? They're not going soft at you when they're going through drills and stuff like that. So do you leave there sore?
Dude, I have three ribs out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still go like 7, 8, 9 hours every day. So I'm hurting. Like I go into the chiropractor's office and they're like, yeah, just so you know, like you can't really move the next 2 days. And I'm like, I don't know if you know what I do, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, it's like they're big, they're strong, they're fast. Like the way they cover, people don't understand it because you see them a lot on TV, but the way they cover ground and how fast they cover ground, and how quick they cover ground is not human.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. It's very hard. Like if you watch videos, I'm always with some type of object to make myself taller or like faster. So it's like it's and it still doesn't work. They still shoot right over me, but it's fun. It's just the way these guys move. It's not human.
There's levels to this, right? There's different levels out here.
And they work hard. I think when I come back, I always try to tell the players that I work with around Maine, I don't think they understand how hard these kids in the state like Texas goes where, and this is no knock, but there's really no guarantees there. Like when you're working, the standard is almost like it's NBA or it's Division 1 or you failed. And I know some parents like they don't like how that sounds because there's deeper things than that with basketball, but that's the mindset there where it's like the kids come in and they work their tails off, and the intensity they have when they work, the focus, like the understanding of how big little things are, it's off the charts. And I think we have to get better with that in Maine, because I do think in Maine we do have the opportunity with so we are spread out, that there is a difference in that type of like just intensity when people work and when people like try to get their game to another level. So it's good to see that and then come back and explain like to kids around here. It's like, dude, you're like nowhere near what I've seen. Like you need to move the ball faster. That's going to get taken from you if you get out of state. So it's really good to see that and then be able to like explain it to kids. Cause if you're not around that, you have no idea how to explain it to a kid in Maine. Like I've seen a Trey Johnson, like a 5-star class of 2024. Like he's ranked number 3 in the nation. Like I've seen him, the way he moves. It's like, dude, if you want to be anywhere close to him, you need to be going harder. So it's like, it's really cool to be able to explain that to kids around this area.
I ask you this question every time we get on here, but state of Maine basketball, we're still moving in the right direction, right? I mean, we're starting to see the girls have been good, and then that's continuing to happen with the girls getting looks, getting D1 looks and stuff like that. But now you got Dom, you got Brady getting looks. Cash is probably going to get some looks. How do you feel?
Yep.
You think we're still progressing in the right way here?
Yeah, and then what Cooper's doing is incredible.
Cooper, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it's just like it's really cool to see. Yes, number one, yes. Like I think we have incredible people, parents, trainers, coaches, programs, high school coaches, high school programs. I think what everyone, I think Maine is such a, we were saying this, Maine is such a competitive state where, if one part is doing something really well, I think the rest of Maine catches on very fast.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see. And I think you got some people that are really trying to do, like bring more of like this top 30 camp. I want to bring the best of the trainers in Maine together. I want to bring the best of the kids together, and then just be able to like build and grow off of that. So Maine is heading in the right direction. I think we've always, in a way, we haven't had the depth of talent, because there just hasn't been those opportunities, but that's what's starting to be more established and come about. And I think so you're going to be seeing over the next few years, and you're seeing it with like that Cooper class, the Maine United team. Like you're seeing these kids now, they're stepping into like their freshman year and they're getting the exposure that Doms, Cashes, they should have gotten back then. You know what I mean? So, and again, no knock to anyone. We didn't know what we didn't know. And so now we're learning, we're getting better, we're growing. And like with social media, you just can't hide anymore. So what we see Massachusetts doing, everyone in Maine is like, oh, we can do that too. We just got to put this and this together. So like, I'm so proud of like what everyone's doing because we have the talent. Like when I go down to Texas, Tyler and them are talking about Cooper and Dom and Cash, like trainers from there are coming up to me that I don't know very well. And they're like, hey, yo, y'all got that Cooper or that Cash kid, right? It's like, yeah, we do. So it's really cool to hear that because like what we're doing is working and we just got to keep it going.
Last thing before we get up out of here, the camp itself.
Yep.
What about the dates?
Yeah. So the girls event is August 7th and August 8th. We start at 9 a.m. and we're going to go till 5 p.m. So it's a little bit longer camp than we did last year. Registration begins at 8 a.m. The boys camp is the same times, but it'll be August 14th and August 15th, and it'll be at the XL facility, the Saco XL Center. So it was the same location that we had last year. So it'll be exciting, man. It'll be a fun time. We got a great itinerary. I haven't released the itinerary yet, but I feel like it's really balanced and it's going to allow players to get like we talked about, competition, experience, exposure, and then evaluation. So it'll be really cool.
You have all your 60 commits for boys and girls? You're still working on it.
I do not. Yeah, and I mean, people are gonna they come in like the majority of them come in like the last 3 weeks. I have had a lot of commitments from like jersey sizes and stuff because that has to get in like a month and a half before. But just officially like committing, those are gonna roll in like 2-3 weeks. It's tough. There's so much right now. Like I think parents and kids and families, they're busy. There's so much going on, but I feel like we're gonna get a good 95% majority of the top talent, and then obviously that last 5%, it opens it up to kids that maybe I messed up on, maybe I overlooked, and now they get a chance to really prove themselves. I think that's what's so cool. Like I don't shy away from making mistakes on kids that, especially last year, like COVID was such a hard year to see everybody. So, what I did was I usually allow like 10 to 15 incoming freshmen. This year it's only 5. And the reason was because I just don't know who is like the top of the top coming in. Like I know maybe the first 5 and that's maybe about it. And that could even be debatable on like some part. So we're trying to swing it more towards upperclassmen side this year. And then, allow this full year for me to like really see who's coming through. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see everybody.
For those that want to follow along, you got a couple Instagram pages and stuff like that you run.
Yep.
You got one specifically for the top 30 camp. So where can people follow along if they want to stay up to date, get all the news of who's committed and stuff like that?
Yep. Instagram, Facebook. It's just Maine top 30 camp. So it's the same everywhere. And you'll be able to follow like the commitments, to be able to follow the colleges that we'll have. I'm gonna start to share more of those from other states over the next few days and weeks. So you'll be able to see the trainers that we have coming in, like a great local staff coming in and taking players through stations. That's what I'm most excited for, getting the best of the best. Some of them I did reach out to like every trainer I knew, at least. Some have had other commitments. So if you do not see a trainer there, I did reach out to them. It's just, unfortunately, it's such a busy summer. Like, everything is popping off from last year being COVID. But we're going to make sure that we at least try to get like the top of the top trainers there as well. Because Maine these kids need to get a glimpse of everyone, and everyone has something different to offer. So I'm just excited, man. But those are the pages, and you'll be able to follow everything.
I'll tell you, the thing that I was most excited for when I saw commitments was when I saw UMFK committed is going to be there. I was like, all right, we good. Like, UMFK is going to be there. That's all I was worried about. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah, we have besides obviously UMaine, because they fall outside of the they're outside of the live, like we're not in a live period. So UMaine, I'll reach out to them. They'll probably be watching virtually because there's girls there that they want, obviously, and hopefully some boys. But we have every university college in Maine has committed from boys and girls side. So you'll be able to see, hopefully, if they can make it. That's another story. Everyone besides UMaine will be in attendance. So it'll be cool just to have that, again, that culture deepen in Maine. So
doing big things is the man Ben Teer. Thank you for coming through and shedding some light on the top 30 camp. I'm excited for it. I was able to experience it a little bit last year. I'm excited to get down there this year too. So doing great things for all the kids here in the state. We appreciate all the work you put in, and looking forward to another good top 30 camp. So any last words, Ben, before we get up out of here?
I said, just like, if you see this and you think that you deserve a spot, I wanted to say this before I got out of here. If you see this and you think you deserve a spot, send me a message, either at Coach Ben Teer or at Maine Top 30 Camp. And because I know there are some players that either we're gonna miss or we haven't been able to see, especially if you're an underclassmen player, or have your AAU coach reach out to me, because we do have a couple spots. And, like, obviously I want to make sure the talent is still high, and I want to make sure it's competitive, but reach out to me because we do have a couple spots, and I want to make this the most competitive camp that you guys have ever been to. So that'll be my last words, man, but I'm excited, and I appreciate you having me on here.
Absolutely. It's going to do it for this week's episode of Big Time Hoops. Make sure to check out the previous episodes wherever you get your podcasts. And podcast is back. I'm getting back into it, ladies and gentlemen. So a bunch of good stuff coming up here as we get back into the swing of things now that summer's rolling on. That's it. We'll see you next time with another Big Time episode of Big Time Hoops, the podcast.